This week on 49ers Cal High Sports, we meet the top Bay Area football player learning from his adoptive NFL uncle. We have the story of the Concord boxer and the tragedy that changed his life.
He was a linebacker on a state champion football team, and now he's running for mayor. Plus, the East Bay coach returning to her roots to try and take her team to the top. It's all next on 49ers Cal High Sports.
Welcome to 49ers Cal High Sports, presented by U.S. Bank. I'm Robert Bronstein.
And I'm Aubrey Tolliver. We begin tonight with the Folsom High School defensive back Lonell Turbin. He lost his father when he was just 12 years old, and a superstar stepped in to help take his place. Meet Lonell Turbin. This defensive back from Folsom High School has everything going for him. A spot on a successful football team, a 6-foot, 200-pound frame, and the direct guidance of a pro football player.
If we condition it, I'm out.
Robert Turbin, Irvington High School alumni and 2014 Super Bowl champion. To Lonell, it's just Uncle Robert. On February 6, 2012, Lonell was 10 years old, living with his mom in Antioch. Robert's NFL career was just beginning to take flight.
The year that I was drafted in 2012, I got a call. I was in Arizona training for the combine. My brother passed away, his father.
Lonnie Turbin, Lonell's dad and Robert's brother, was shot and killed in Oakland.
He was murdered, and it was a tough situation, obviously, for the entire family.
Well, the only thing I can really remember was that he really made me laugh. But other than that, I don't really remember much because it wasn't like he was with my mom at the time, really. They were apart. So, I rarely got to saw him, and I don't really remember many things, only a little stuff.
Robert has decided to keep the circumstances regarding his brother's death from Lonell until he's ready.
I knew a lot of the things that he had been dealing with, and some of the situations that he had been in, and I understood him, and he didn't, and he's not supposed to at that age.
What do you remember from that time?
Not much.
No? Do you know how he died?
Yeah.
How did he die?
He got shot in the stomach.
Do you know the circumstances around it? Like, where was he?
Nope.
No, is that something that you
Wasn't told.
You weren't told and you don't want to know?
Not really.
I really feel like it was my responsibility, to take him in. That's what my brother would have wanted. I know that for a fact.
As a tribute to his brother, Robert adopted Lonell when he turned 12 years old.
My older brother and I were really close, and he had, 5 kids, 4 daughters, and he's his only son. And, listen, my brother was a very compassionate person. Obviously, he had his shortcomings and his struggles, as we all do. I just looked at the situation with my family. All he had was, me, obviously, and his children, and his only son. I mean, I remember vividly, how much he wanted a boy, and it took him 5 kids to do that. It felt like it was my responsibility, to take him in and help him be successful. I felt like I could give him a better chance, to kind of show him the ropes, show him how I was able to get here, how I'm still here, and he could also, get there in his own way. Oh, we gotta make plays!
Yeah, he always told me that I don't have to play football, I don't have to play sports at all. It's not something that I have to do. Because he always told me that I have to want to do something.
The number one lesson that I wanted to make sure that he knew was that you don't have to be like me or anything like me. I play football, I love the game. If you want to play football, great. If you want to hoop and play basketball, great. You want to swing a baseball, great. If you don't want to have anything to do with sports, that's great too. You gotta finish, baby! The one thing I wanted him to know was that he had somebody in his corner. Hey, good finish, boy! And somebody had his back, and somebody was gonna raise him to be the best man that he could possibly be.
Lonell says he's grateful for everything Robert has done for him and wants to say to his uncle,
Thank you, really honestly. Like, he's the reason why I'm here now. Like, as good as I am, so I go through everything because of him.
Lonell Turbin has everything going for him, especially the love of an uncle who would do anything to set Lonell up for success.
Lonell wants to play in the NFL just like his uncle, but Robert wanted to make it very clear he doesn't expect Lonell to fill his shoes, but as long as Lonell wants to pursue a career in football, Robert's going to do everything in his power to help him get there.
Yeah, he's doing very well, and it's nice to have an NFL guy who did well in the NFL helping you out.
Exactly.
All right, Stevens Creek Chevrolet brings us the Spirit Corner each week.
This week we feature the cheer team from Homestead High School from their virtual performance rally earlier this year.
Coming up, one of the Bay Area's all-time best basketball players now returning to her roots to coach in the East Bay.
And later, we meet Braulio Ceja, a hard-hitting boxer battling a terrible tragedy in his life.
Some see a grilled cheese sandwich and ask why. I see a new kitchen with a grill and ask why not.
I really need to start adding less to cart and more to savings.
Sitting on this couch so long made me want to make some changes, starting with this couch.
Yeah, I need a house with a different view. And this is the bank that will help you do it all. Because at U.S. Bank, our people are dedicated to turning your new inspiration into your next pursuit.
When I first came here, my goal was to be a contributing player on my high school's JV football team. The center actually not only helped me achieve my goals, but exceed even what I initially set out to do. I was able to continue playing football professionally through a lot of the things that I learned at the Rega Center. The Rega Center is a place to help you achieve your goals and then, tailor it to whatever the person's goals might be.
1, 2, 3.
Get ready to cheer for your next new or used car at Stevens Creek Chevrolet.
Stevens Creek Chevrolet!
We're ready to make your buying experience safe and easy. Come to our dealership to see and test drive one of hundreds of great Chevrolet cars and trucks. Or you can go online to shop, order, and have your new car delivered right to your door. So get fired up for a great deal right here at
Stevens Creek Chevrolet! 49ers Cal High Sports is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By Stevens Creek Chevrolet, find new roads. By Wingstop, order Wingstop's new all-in bundle, just $19.99. See wingstop.com for restrictions and details. And by Cupertino Electric, the company delivering power and possibilities and celebrating student athletes making a positive impact. Welcome back to Levi Stadium. Girls basketball in the Bay Area is well respected for its top teams and coaches.
Yeah, now there is a new coach on the horizon, a former WNBA player who found high school coaching success in Minnesota before heading back to the Bay. Alexis Gray Lawson is all Oakland. She gained her basketball skills on Oakland playgrounds, battling some of the best male players the city had to offer.
One day I want to just be and hang out with my cousins. There's so many, it's probably 25 of us, and they would always be at the park, and I'm one of the youngest, and they would never let me go. And so finally one day my dad came outside and he's like, I'll go outside and play with you. And that's kind of how my journey started, was really just wanted to be around them, and the rest is history.
From the playgrounds, Alexis joined the Oakland Tech girls basketball team. The Bulldogs won 4 straight league titles and back-to-back state titles in 2004 and 2005.
For me, it was all about building a legacy. I always wanted to go and prove that, I was the best. And I think that sometimes you have to kind of do that solo. At least you think you have to do it solo, and then you get there and it's completely different as a freshman. And I had some amazing upperclassmen who really took me under their arms and really showed me what it was to be a great teammate. And because of that, I think it allowed me to flourish as a basketball player.
Her gritty style of play was a trademark for Alexis as the Bulldogs piled up the wins.
Kind of put my heart on the floor, and I just left it there every game. And, you know, because of it, we won, 4 OAL championships in a row. So, and obviously that helps with having Devonay as well.
Devonay is Devonay Hampton, the talented center on the Oakland Tech team. Devonay would commit to play alongside Alexis at Cal.
She's always been my point guard. She and I was like, we always called ourselves Shaq and Kobe. I don't know. It's just like we always vibed and can play off one another. And not to mention, like, we both love to score.
It was great. We got recruited by Karen at the time, and Camille Burks and those guys. And we loved them as coaches. We thought that was going to be the best situation for us. And we step on campus and we have a brand new coach and a staff that we really don't know much about. And I think at that time, most people would contemplate, like, is this what I really want to do? Do I really want to stay? And for us, we wanted to be the hometown kids. So we had our own Fab Five, that went to Cal, and we produced. And it was a great experience for us. And I'm glad that we gave Coach Boyle and those guys a chance.
Taking it, of course. Lexi Gray Lawson again.
Alexis had a great career at Cal despite an injury that cost her most of her sophomore season. After a short stint in the WNBA, Alexis took a coaching job at a top high school program in Minnesota.
My team in Minnesota, was great. I mean, we had so many amazing things that happened in Minnesota. Obviously with having great kids comes with great accolades, like, Coach of the Year and youngest to get to 100, and all these great things that happened for me, which was amazing. But I mean, we had some kids that were willing to put their hearts on the line every single night. And so I appreciated that. And I think it gave me a greater understanding of really what coaching was all about.
After seeing great success in Minnesota, Alexis decided it was time to come home. She says the opportunity to coach at St. Joseph Notre Dame was a perfect match.
The Bay Area is home. For me, it's always been home. I think in my mind, I always thought that eventually I would be back here. I just didn't know when or why, but I think that, God opens up opportunities for you, and it really was an opportunity that everything just fit and fell right into place.
Alexis inherits a talented team coming off an NCS Open Division title. Because of COVID, she has yet to hold her first practice, but she has met with her team and knows what is needed to grow from last year's success.
I think just focus. There's things I think that we needed to learn and we got to grow from. I had the great opportunity to really meet my team and meet with them a couple times this summer and really talk about last year, the things that we want, set goals for this year. To me, that was important. It's important to kind of hear from your players what they want, right? Because I think as a coach, we always want to win. We always want to win state. We always want to do all these different things, right? But if your kids don't want it, then what's the point?
Alexis has gone from the hard-nosed Bulldog leading her Oakland Tech teams to state titles to the new head coach for St. Joe's. At 33, Alexis is thrilled to have a new passion, coaching young people.
There were just a variety of things that came into my mind. And so I was just thinking, what am I going to do if I don't play? And so, I felt like that was a really good opportunity and chance to kind of figure out what I loved other than basketball. And I came to find out, I loved kids, which was different. I didn't think that I was going to actually like kids like that.
Coach Gray Lawson is now back home and walking the hallways at St. Joe's. The Pilots will be in a new league this season with a much tougher league schedule, but tough has never been a problem for Alexis Gray Lawson. Alexis does inherit an outstanding team and will be in a much tougher league this year, and that with the tougher schedule will test the Pilots right away. But she was a great player in high school and in college. In fact, some people will tell you she's one of the top 10 all-time players, men or women, from Oakland.
Oh, wow.
Who
says
start
that?
some controversy there. There was a poll.
Was there really? Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, she was in there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Each week, Lexus of Stevens Creek presents the Volunteer Award, part of the Lexus of Stevens Creek commitment to promoting volunteerism.
This week, the Lexus of Stevens Creek Volunteer Award goes to Julia Wright from Piedmont Hills High School. This past summer, Julia volunteered her time every other Saturday at the Second Harvest Food Bank in Milpitas, where she organized and distributed food to families in need. Julia explains why volunteering is so important to her.
Volunteering is so important because I think it's important to help out the community and just to help out other people. I think it's really important because it helps our community grow and helps everybody else have a better life, and I just want everybody to be happier, I guess.
Coming up, he's a brawler in the ring, but Braulio Ceja is much more than that. His emotional story is next.
And later, we visit the Hillsdale volleyball player and learn about the day that changed her life. Sahara Daly's story coming up.
People always ask me what I got on. They be like, hey, Brandon, what you got on? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Invis is everything braces isn't. More comfortable, fewer emergency appointments. Invisalign.
Every day, the sun comes up. And right on cue, the work begins. We start every morning, knowing full well we're in it for the long haul. Our work is a labor of love. No task too small, no moment uncherished. And although we're not often thanked, we rest knowing that our work is making a brighter future. This is more than milk.
Go to SB Live California as your destination for the very best in local high school sports coverage online. SB Live brings sports fans exclusive articles, highlights, coaches, polls, and photo galleries. Get the SB Live app for the latest scores from games played all around the Bay Area and California. This season, SB Live brings you exclusive content in partnership with 49ers Cal High Sports. Follow us at SB Live CA on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. SB Live, the Bay Area's first destination for the latest in high school sports.
Invis is everything braces isn't. Eating the food you love, life uninterrupted. Invisalign.
Hey, we're the Pinole Valley High School cheerleaders. And you're watching the 49ers Cal High Sports Report.
Each week, US Bank helps bring you stories of inspirational athletes who amaze us.
Aubrey, this week we meet Braulio Ceja, a hard-hitting boxing sensation from Concord. But the tough fighter was tested outside the ring by a tragic accident this past summer. Every afternoon, 5 days a week, this is where you will find Braulio Ceja. Braulio is a fighter. Just 15 years old, he has great strength and ability. He's finding success in the ring at a young age.
It started off, my dad, he called me up one day because my sister, she was going to join CYC for soccer. And he told me, you're going to join a sport too. You know, you got to get up and do something. So he's like, you know, there's a list of sports, you know, just choose a sport. So I just started thinking, and the first thing I said was MMA, which they don't even have here. And he's like, there's no MMA here, but they have boxing.
He's a young stud. He's the kind of kid you dream of working with. Because he's got all the desire that we can't teach. He's had it since he was a little tyke. He was in here when he was eight years old to start with, and he's always been whatever age group he was in. He's been kind of the guy that sets the bar for that age group.
Braulio is a student of the fight game. He loves to learn all the ways he can improve.
Well, there's always constant progression. There's always something new to learn. That constant want to get better and progress and, you know, just get better and better each day and work on something new each day and learn a new combination, learn a new way to move around, how to move my feet, how to move my head. There's just so many things you can learn in boxing that every day you're learning something new.
Come on, Braulio, last round.
Braulio has had 30 fights so far with a 20-10 amateur record. Braulio gets a thrill when he's in the ring, but when the fight starts, he is laser focused.
In the blue corner, there you go, Braulio. There you go, Braulio.
The atmosphere is definitely exciting. You know, having this large crowd watching you, and you know, you go out there and you're fighting this dude, and it's just you. In the moment, it's just you and him in the ring, but all the surrounding noise and all the people, it kind of just goes away when you're in the ring.
Braulio was a quiet child, socially shy with bouts of anxiety, but boxing has helped him escape all of that.
Well, I had a lot of of social anxiety. So like in elementary school, I was generally really quiet. I was just kind of like to myself with just a few friends, and I wouldn't talk much. But with boxing, you know, coming here every day and being around the same people all the time and also new faces, it helps me kind of open up, talk to other people, and then I build these new relationships with people, and those people have friends, and I became friends with those friends, and it helped me kind of just like open up.
This past June, Braulio's life was shattered with the death of his cousin.
My cousin Perla, I was really close with her when I was younger. I pretty much grew up with her. I would see her at least once a week, twice a week, and we would spend a lot of time together, and it meant a lot to me because she would treat me like a little brother.
Braulio's cousin, 19-year-old Perla Navarro, was killed when the car she was driving spun out of control and off the Carquinez Bridge, falling 200 feet and landing on a railroad car. All 4 people in the car were killed.
It came by surprise and really quick, and for everyone in our family, it kind of just, it was difficult. It came up quick, out of nowhere. The day of the incident, we were literally having like a get-together with family, and we were enjoying ourselves, and then the next day I wake up and I hear that she's gone, and it kind of just reminds you of how quickly someone can be gone, how quickly something can end, and how you have to just enjoy what's happening right now.
Oh, he's one of those kids that something like that happens that, you know, he takes it pretty hard, or anything that happens around to the family or whatever, he takes it pretty hard, and he just takes it pretty hard all the time.
This past summer, Braulio worked every day with his dad in this Richmond metal shop.
We wake up at 4 in the morning, we clock in at 6, and we don't get out till 2:30. And I get home around 3:30, and then from there I get ready and I'll come here to the gym.
I'm very, very proud. I don't know how you can put them in numbers or something, but if you put them in numbers, it's 110. Yeah, over that, but I'm very proud of him, that what he's doing and what he's been accomplishing in his young life.
Braulio is a champion in the classroom with a perfect 4.0 GPA. His 2 older sisters are both going to college looking for careers in medicine. Braulio will go to college as well, but right now his goal is to become a champion in the ring.
Ultimately, he wants to be a world champion. He wants to make money to take care of his family and kind of pay back everybody that he thinks, you know, has worked hard to give him the life he's got. So he's a pretty loyal kid.
For Braulio Ceja, boxing has become the therapy he needs to handle the trials in his life. Braulio knows it will take a huge amount of work to become a boxing champion. That's why you will see him here every day working to make his dream come true. Braulio is just an outstanding young man. His parents are hard workers, and that's where he gets his work ethic. No question Braulio is bound for big things ahead.
Awesome. Thank you, Robert. Wingstop brings us the Wings of an Angel honor each week, where a student athlete talks about their favorite teacher.
Here's Riley Adams-Barnes from Alhambra High School talking about her favorite teacher, Eric Pham.
My favorite teacher is Mr. Pham. He's just very inspirational. He's always like helpful. Like if you need help, he can always come to you. He explains it if you don't like understand it. He's a great teacher.
Our Wings of an Angel teacher will receive a Wingstop gift card for doing such a great job.
Wingstop is also honoring Terry Blanchard, a Wingstop owner who passed away this past spring from COVID-19. Wingstop will be supporting scholarships for athletes of color in Terry's honor. Those scholarships to be presented at our end of the season awards banquet in June.
Coming up, we meet the Hillsdale volleyball star and the moment that changed her life.
And later, the high school football player running for mayor in his hometown. The story coming up.
Piercy Honda, located right off Highway 880 in Milpitas, is where you will find hundreds of new and pre-owned Hondas to choose from. Low credit score, no credit, first-time buyer? No problem, Piercy Honda can help. Find us online at piercyhonda.com to search our inventory, calculate your payments, and even complete your purchase. Piercy Honda is home to great customer service, great deals, and a more convenient way to buy a new or pre-owned Honda. Go to Piercy Honda in Milpitas.
Are you ready to sink your teeth into a lemon pepper, sweet and spicy Korean cute-tastic mango habanero
master class in all things wings?
Yes, I am.
Are you though?
I'll take that.
All right. Get the new all-in bundle for just $19.99. Available for delivery and carry-out for a limited time. Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings.
The Guzmans were about to close on a home they adored, but at the last minute, their mortgage company denied their loan because the unusual home didn't meet their usual loan requirements. Heartbroken, they turned to Tri-Counties Bank home mortgage loan specialist Vincent Pagara. Specializing in custom loans for unique homes, his team quickly designed a creative solution, uniting the Guzmans and their home just in time. That's a perfect match. For personalized problem solving, switch to Tri-Counties Bank. Service with solutions.
49ers Cal High Sports is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By DGDG.com, where we want you to be a happy car buyer. By the Rikers Center, where goals and dreams become a reality. By Tri-Counties Bank, service with solutions, 12 locations now open in the Bay Area. And by the Sereno Group, here for good.
I'm Kathleen Pazine with Sereno Group Real Estate, and I'm proud to support Bay Area high school sports on the 49ers Cal High Sports Report.
We are back at Levi Stadium with the story of the Hillsdale volleyball star and the day that changed her life.
Our Allie Williams is here now with her story.
It's true that life can come at you quickly, and for Sahara Daly, it took a short moment at a volleyball tournament to flip everything upside down. One day, you're at a volleyball tournament. The next, you're on a flight home. During her freshman year, Sahara Daly was competing in Las Vegas. She was on the court when her plans changed in an instant.
I found out that my dad had been in the hospital. I ended up taking a flight back home by myself that same day, and I found out that my dad may or may not make it through his surgery.
Sahara's dad was diagnosed with necrotizing fasciitis, a flesh-eating disease. He was in the hospital for about 4 months.
I think it was a big blur in the beginning. It was a shock because her dad went in for a toothache. I called my family and I said I need to get Sahara home.
It was heartbreaking, especially the fact that I didn't really remember how our last conversation went because he was in a coma for about a month or two.
While Sahara's mom stayed in the hospital with her dad, Sahara stayed home with her brother and grandmother. She filled in for her parents around the house and picked up 2 jobs over the summer. Sahara currently works at a senior living facility in the dining area.
With how long my mom works, I decided that I'd rather provide for myself than make her struggle.
Hey Pops, it's Sahara back again. Another vlog.
When Sahara visited her dad, she found a way to keep her spirits up by keeping a video journal.
Every time I would visit the hospital, for example, if it were a day after school, I would always make sure to pull out my phone and take a vlog. I was just like thinking in a more positive aspect, like, you know what, when he wakes up, he'll be able to see all these things that I did that day.
After about 4 months in the hospital, Sahara's dad was able to come home, but still had many trips back and forth to the hospital over the next few months. With the disease now behind him, Sahara's dad is home for good. Sahara hasn't shown her dad all her vlogs yet, but she did have another update: softball. Sahara's dad loved watching Sahara play softball. His life-threatening experience influenced Sahara to come back and play for him. That decision reignited her love of the sport. After 3 years away from softball, Sahara made varsity in her sophomore year. COVID cut the year short, but Sahara is ready for her junior year and has goals to play in college. While it has been a tough journey for Sahara and her family, they are working together to get through the hard times. The experience has taught Sahara to be grateful for the good ones.
It used to be really a sensitive topic to me, but now when I talk about it, I feel so much more comfortable, and I kind of just look at it as like, wow, that was a moment in time where I just realized everything I should be grateful for.
If she can overcome her father's situation, I think she can overcome anything.
With her dad recovering, Sahara can now get back to concentrating on school. This spring, she'll be back on the court and on the field with her dad in the stands. Looking forward to getting both the volleyball and softball season started, but for now, her dad is doing well and is glad to be back with her family.
Yeah, outstanding. Glad to have a happy ending to that story. All right, coming up, the South Bay coach in his effort to find a cure for cancer.
And later the season continues in our E-Game series. Highlights coming up.
Adobe helps bring us stories of athletes performing at their peak every week.
Chiara Biagini joins us with the story of the South Bay coach and his fight for a cure.
Aubrey, many people know Coach Crail for his 35 years of coaching high school football. Tonight we learn about the nonprofit organization Coach Crail founded in 2009, dedicated to helping families fight cancer.
Let's show them who's got the will to win, the will to sacrifice, the will to give it up for each other right now.
Mark Crail is entering his 35th year coaching high school football. He's also entering his 12th year running a nonprofit organization called Coaches Against Cancer.
Back in 2006, my dad lost a 5-year battle with lung cancer. And, you know, obviously so many families go through that battle with the person that's fighting the fight, and it's tough and it wears on the family. And, you know, obviously, ultimately he passed and it was real difficult. And about a year or so later, you know, it dawned on me, like, why don't I take something that's been really difficult and maybe try to turn it into something that could be positive.
So Coach Crail joined the fight for life. He founded Coaches Against Cancer as a small way to let families in the Bay Area who are facing cancer know they are not alone.
Cancer isn't just the person that has cancer, right? It affects the entire family and the community within or around that person. And so, you know, a lot of what we do is to try to support not only the person fighting, but those helping to fight the fight. And so that's been really great.
Since 2009, Coaches Against Cancer raised over $400,000, all of which has been donated to the American Cancer Society, National Brain Tumor Society, and their Dream Come True project.
Maybe 6 years ago now, we started what we call our Dream Come True program. And that's kind of our local mini Make-A-Wish, if you will. And so we have been able to do all kinds of different projects for families and folks in need. I mean, anything from, we had a little 5-year-old guy with leukemia that we built him, his dream was to have a treehouse in his backyard. And so we built him the best treehouse that we could put together. You know, we've had reunions for families. We've sent people to Europe. We've sent people to Universal Studios and Disneyland. We had a couple of different guys that were avid golfers that had never played Pebble Beach, and we were able to arrange a weekend there with their loved ones to stay and play at Pebble Beach. So we just, you know, we've done like 50 different projects, and the list goes on, and it just, you know, it really warms your heart when you're able to do things like that. And that's the part that, you know, I'm so just humbly appreciative for, because, you know, we're helping people, but we're also, you know, filling our heart as well. And you come to the realization that there's, you know, you might be having a bad day, but there's always people out there that have it worse. And so if we can connect with those people and, you know, help those people, it's great. It warms our heart.
Coach Crail's son and Los Gatos football coach is heavily involved in the nonprofit and helps organize an annual bike ride to help raise money.
So 4 years ago in 2017, we started what we call Bike to Beat Cancer, and it's been really cool. The last 4 years since, we've had from range of 15 riders to 30 plus riders that simply pick a 2-day ride, and we ride to support those that are fighting. I think we're now we've raised over $140,000 in 4 years, and it's something that, you know, we hope to keep a tradition for a long time.
Coach Crail is making a difference in the community and always encourages his players at Los Gatos to do the same.
My dad's been a good role model to me, just always sticking by doing the right thing and doing what can help other people. And I think he brings that onto the football field as well. And just, we hold our coaching staff led by him, we kind of hold our kids accountable to be good young adults before being good players. And I think that's kind of his motto in life, is just, you know, what are you going to do when someone's not watching, right? Instead of when all the eyes are on you. You just want to be a good person, and he preaches that and has us all kind of live by that motto. And I think that really helps in the football field, and it helps with our success, not only winning games, but turning these guys into good young men.
You know, it's easy to take and it's easy to receive, but it's way better and way more fulfilling in life to give back.
Coaches Against Cancer is doing incredible work in the community. Hats off to Coach Krill for giving so much of himself to others in need.
Yeah, he's done a great job, and it's really grown over the years. So very, very nice thing he's doing. All right, it's Deja Mu. Each week, Clover-Sonoma Dairy brings us athletes who are grazing their way to success. This week, we feature Emmy Award-winning actor Yahya Abdul-Mateen, who I interviewed at McClymonds High School back in 2004.
Yahya played on the McClymonds varsity basketball team under Coach Dwight Nathaniel back in 2004. He won the Emmy for his role in the series The Watchmen. It's Deja Mu with Yahya Abdul and Clover-Sonoma Dairy.
Coming up, this week's highlights from our e-game tournament.
You're watching 49ers Cal High Sports, the #1 high school sports show in the nation.
Some see a grilled cheese sandwich and ask why. I see a new kitchen with a grill and ask why not.
I really need to start adding less to cart and more to savings.
Sitting on this couch so long made me want to make some changes, starting with this couch.
Yeah, I need a house with a different view. And this is the bank that will help you do it all. Because at U.S. Bank, our people are dedicated to turning your new inspiration into your next pursuit.
For more than 65 years, Cupertino Electric has been delivering power and possibilities. With offices throughout California and project sites throughout the U.S., Cupertino Electric today builds renewable, commercial, utility, and data center projects for some of the most influential companies in the world. Beyond that, we are a people company. We build family, communities, and meaningful careers. Visit CEI.com today or connect with us on LinkedIn, Facebook, or other social sites to see our openings and join our team.
Devcon Construction is #1 in the Bay Area and Silicon Valley because of trust. 95% of our business comes from repeat customers. They know the customer is our top priority. That's why Devcon was the choice for the 49ers Stadium and for the Earthquake Stadium. Devcon was also chosen when outstanding schools like Bellarmine, the Nueva School, and Mitty wanted the very best on time and on budget. Top Bay Area companies know Devcon is the best choice whether it's new construction or renovation. Devcon Construction, helping to build the best in Silicon Valley. Our first ever e-game tournament is well underway with some of the better players starting to distinguish themselves.
That's right, we've teamed up with the Ultimate Gaming League to bring you the first of its kind high school Madden League. Here now are highlights from this week's regular season games.
This event is powered by the UGL. Tonight's matchup features Mountain House High School versus De La Salle.
I'm Blake Burke. I go to De La Salle High School, and I chose the Seahawks because I'm a huge fan of Russell Wilson.
I'm Dexter Francis. I go to Mountain House High School. I play receiver and DB. And I chose the Ravens because Lamar Jackson is not.
Down 7-zip on his first drive of the game, Scotty finds Lockett in the back of the end zone for a 5-yard TD pass. Next Baltimore possession on 1st and 10, D. Cornball takes it to the house with Mark Ingram on a 76-yard TD run, 14-7 Ravens to close out the first. Scotty wastes no time for get back, finding DK Metcalf for a 56-yard TD pass, 14 all. On 3rd and goal, up 27-14, Scotty makes a big defensive stop to force a field goal. After another Metcalf TD pass, Scotty goes for 2 to make it a one-possession game, but drops the ball. D. Cornball, looking to gain control of the game, finds Dobbins for a 6-yard TD pass to go up 39-20. After another Scotty INT, D. Cornball shows you why Lamar is a beast, dodging defenders and connecting with Andrews for a 41-yard TD pass. Trying to get back in the game, Scotty scores on 3rd and goal, but misses the 2-point conversion. After a failed onside kick, D. Cornball goes for the knockout punch to Hollywood Brown for a 57-yard TD pass, 52-34 B Moore. And with 43 seconds left on the clock, Cornball scores again. 60-34 is your final.
I did all right, but the first half I was kind of sloppy on defense, but then I picked it up the second half.
I couldn't stop Mark Ingram, then I could stop Mark Ingram, and then Lamar Jackson started going off, so.
Shout out UGL, shout out Coach Carr, put me in the league.
Shout out UGL, thank you for this, it's fun.
Follow UGL on social media and subscribe to UGL World _TV on Twitch to view the full game.
You can get more information on this e-game league at the Ultimate Gaming League social media sites. Get standings, players, all that kind of stuff.
Yes, you can find that at UGL World on social media everywhere.
Great.
Yeah. All right. The Harker School brings us the Scholar Athlete Awards each week. This week we honor Ryan Ramundi from Liberty High School, the mayoral candidate we met earlier in the show. Ryan has a 4.7 GPA.
Yeah, I would vote for that guy. Brought to you by the Harker School. Last week, middle school students returned to campus for 1 hour of outdoor workouts, and lower school students gathered outdoors in cohorts for a variety of after-school activities. At Harker, transitional kindergarten through 12th grade students discover their passions. Learn more at harker.org. Coming up, the Bay Area cheerleader who lost one of the most important people in her life this summer. You'll meet Rachel Swing next.
49ers Cal High Sports is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By Lexus of Stevens Creek, we get it. By Clover Sonoma, the #1 milk brand in Northern California and proud partners of the 49ers. And by DevCon Construction, build, perform, design, sustain.
We are back with our Surface by Medallion feature story.
Robert, Rachel Swing is a bubbly, fun-loving, and strong-willed senior at Valley Christian High School. The competitive cheerleader has showed unbelievable strength after losing her father so suddenly this past summer.
Can we press play?
Rachel Swing joined the competitive cheer program NorCal Elite 6 years ago, and she's cheered every year since.
I was a gymnast for about 10 years, and I really loved everything about gym, but it was just too many hours, and it was really hard. And then I found cheer, and I wouldn't trade the sport for anything. Push, pull. At first, my family was a little skeptical about the whole idea of cheer because they thought it was like everything that they've seen in the movies. They were like, oh, you're just gonna be on the sidelines yelling, go team. And then they saw like how passionate I became for cheer and the relationships that I've made me laugh. My coaches have been there for me for everything, and the teammates have always been like, they've been sisters that I've never had, grew up with boys, so it's really nice to be around the girls all the time.
Over these past 2 months, Rachel has had to lean on her teammates more than she ever could have imagined.
My dad was a very, I don't know, he's like so hard to describe. My dad loved my family and me and my brothers so much, and he would do anything and everything to help us succeed.
On July 23rd, Rachel and her family experienced the loss of a lifetime.
He got into a motorcycle accident, and it was an instant death for him, but it was painless, and I'm a very strong believer that he is in a better place now and watching over me as I speak right now.
I mean, I can't. Sorry. Every day's a little different. Some days are fine and some days are really hard.
It's hard. I mean, I lost my father, the person who has helped me through my entire life. He's made me who I am, and me and my dad are very similar with our personalities, and so it's like sometimes there's things that I wish I could just like ask him, like, how did you do this, because I can't figure it out, and I know you did the same thing because we're just so similar.
They're both very strong-willed. They both are very opinionated. They have a drive. They know what they want and they know how they're going to get it. And I guess when you're looking at hindsight, I think she appreciates that. I think she appreciates the strength that she got from him. And even it wasn't always perfect. But I think she could look back on it and go, like, I got really super awesome qualities from him.
Most difficult part is just like not being able to just like say like hey, or seeing him at the dinner table, or like seeing pictures of him. I definitely get like very frustrated, like how is this real? And it's hard to like always have a positive mindset, but I try to do the best that I can to continue with my everyday routines, just because that's what I know he would want me to do. I'm in therapy and I'm doing everything I need to do to heal, but the healing process is definitely hard.
The Swing family says they are taking it day by day, trying to deal with a new normal.
We have had definitely our ups and downs. There's been a lot of love from everyone around us, which is amazing, and all the support that we've received is so amazing. We've definitely gotten closer, and we have just been trying to take it day by day because that's all we can do right now, and push through and give each other the love that we need.
Rachel says being back in the gym around her teammates and coaches has been very helpful in her healing process. Her mom agrees.
I know there's another outlet for Rachel, and I know they're great people that I totally trust to give her good guidance and good advice, and be a shoulder to cry on and a shoulder to, that will lift her up when she needs.
I just want to be successful for him and for myself, and I just want him to know that he did everything the best that he could possibly do, and that I will forever be grateful for that.
Rachel and her teammates hope to compete at the World Championships in Orlando, Florida in April. She says it will be hard not to have her biggest fan in the stands, but knows exactly what he would say if he were there.
He would say something that would have to get bleeped out of this probably. He'd probably just tell me that I need to not stress out because I know exactly what I'm doing, and that he loves me and that he's so proud of everything that I've accomplished. If I could say one thing to my dad right now, it would probably be thank you for everything that you've done for me and my brothers and everything that you've taught us. I love you, and you have been one of the most important people of my life, and I can't believe that you're not here right now, but I know you're always with me.
Zeus on 3, 1, 2, 3, Z-E-U-S, Zeus!
Rachel has been so strong for herself and for her family. Her mom believes Rachel inherited her father's strength, and that's why she's been able to really get through this time.
Yeah, very sad, but very courageous of her.
Yes.
All right. Coming up, the Liberty football player and his run for office in his hometown.
But first, here's this week's training tip by our good friends at the Reka Center.
Hi, I'm Coach Jack, and today's training tip is half kneel, curl to press. Lauren is going to take a dumbbell and get in a half kneeling stance. She's going to curl the dumbbell and then press it over her head. She'll do 6 to 8 reps each side and then switch knees and do her left side. And that is half kneel, curl to press.
We are back at Levi Stadium with the story of a Liberty High School linebacker who's taking city government into his own hands.
Yeah, Kiara Biagini has this week's Service by Medallion feature story.
Aubrey, Ryan Ramundi has his sights set high. The middle linebacker and fullback for the Lions is going above and beyond to fulfill his civic duty. As the 2020 election approaches, Ryan Ramundi is getting ready for the biggest competition of his life.
So my name is Ryan Ramundi. I'm running for mayor in the city of Brentwood.
That's right, Ryan Ramundi, an 18-year-old senior at Liberty High School, running for the mayor of Brentwood.
I've been involved in the city and local politics for a long time. I've been able to interact with city council members and city staff as serving on the youth commission for the city of Brentwood. And it began as sort of I was very involved in going to the Naval Academy, and I was passionate about that. So that's why I threw myself into civic engagement and service leadership. Closer I got to senior year, I realized I was more interested. My real passion was serving people, and so that's what if I can do that in the greatest capacity I can, that's what I want to do. So I threw myself into it, and I'm out here living my passion.
Ryan is surprised at how well his campaign is going. He organizes weekly trash cleanups, sets up a booth at the local farmers market, and hands out signs and shirts promoting his campaign. All of his hard work raised over $5,000.
One of the most rewarding things about this experience is the amount of people I've been able to meet. I've met so many different people from Brentwood from so many different walks of life that I never would have been able to given the opportunity to. And so I've been humbled and so grateful for the opportunity. And I think that's one of the great things about running this campaign.
I think Ryan would make a great mayor because he loves his community more than anyone I've known. He's lived here his whole life, and even before running for mayor, he just talked about how great the people here are, how great the atmosphere is here in downtown. It's just fantastic, small town kind of feel, and he loves that.
Brentwood holds a special place in Ryan's heart. He gives credit to the city for molding him into the young man he is today.
The city of Brentwood is a hometown. The people call us the Little Midwest. People are very friendly here. We have one of the largest park systems in the county. We have 91 parks in our city, and that's something we're very proud of. But it's really about community here. I credit the person I am today to the community that raised me here. This is where I was born, this is where I was raised. And so everything about Brentwood is wonderful. And that at the end of the day is why I'm running, because I love the city, not because I hate it. And I think that's an important thing to remember.
If elected mayor, Ryan discusses his plan of action.
So there's sort of three main tenets of my policy, and that is increase public service, emergency services, develop a more business-friendly model in the city of Brentwood. Brentwood's one of the most least business-friendly cities in the area. And the last one is what I've began to call community-friendly. So being a little bit more accommodating to nonprofits and partnering with other agencies, LMC and some of the other local schools to offer more opportunity in Brentwood. And so that's sort of what I'm passionate about. And it's under the umbrella of innovation. We're trying to bring sort of a fresh perspective to Brentwood, an innovative mind, and that's what I'm passionate about.
Ryan is finishing up high school online and plans to graduate early in December. Ryan responds to people who are skeptical of his age.
You know, a young person running for mayor, it takes people back. And there's a quote from Aristotle that said, "The most wise people are the ones that realize they know nothing." And so it's understanding that you have that clean slate, that open-mindedness, and that openness to learn, which makes you a little bit more advantageous than the other candidates. I don't have any preconceived notion. I don't have any closed-minded concepts or schema. I'm out here trying to give Brentwood a fresh perspective, which they haven't been given in over a decade. And so that's simply what I'm offering. And I think the voters agree, but we'll see. We'll see how the election turns out.
Ryan is a born leader. He is a star on the football field, in the classroom, and in the community.
Thank you, Kiara, for that. So Ryan is running against 7 other candidates, a big field. It's really tough in a pandemic to
Yeah,
run
but
a
it'll be
campaign.
very competitive. He says he has a shot, so
He's
excited
definitely
to
got
see.
a shot. They'd be lucky to have him. Don't laugh.
No,
They really
I would
really-
vote for him. I'm not
they
in
really
Brentwood.
would be lucky to have him. The
I am
town
not
of
in
Brentwood would be
Brentwood.
lucky to have him there. Blake Burke's hometown.
Blake Burke is next week. We'll feature him on next week's show. He's a really great baseball player.
We'll look forward
Are we
to
ready to close this show out or what?
That's our 49ers Cal High Sports for this week. Thanks for watching. I'm Robert Bronstein.
And I'm Aubrey Tolliver. Next week, we'll feature Blake Burke, one of the best baseball players in the nation, and is running with COVID.